They told you it was history in the making. Celebrities boarding rockets, floating through space, smiling, crying, touching the stars. But you saw it. The door opened from the inside. The footage glitched, the camera cut, because it wasn't space, it was a set. These aren't astronauts, they're ritual actors. And this, it's not exploration, it's indoctrination. They landed, camera cuts, then confusion. Someone inside tries to open the door, it doesn't budge. Glitches start, footage gets awkward, the crew plays confused, smiles freeze. Then Jeff Bezos walks up, smirking, holding a comically oversized bar. He helps open the hatch from the outside. Why? If the door could be opened from inside, why fake a rescue? Why the bar? Why the ritual act of forcing it open? Because it wasn't about safety, it was symbolism. Jeff wasn't just opening a door, he was initiating them into whatever happened in that chamber. And you were meant to feel grateful. Thank you, Jeff. Wow, he saved them. No, he sealed the scene. And the glitch wasn't technical, it was frequency leakage. The veil slipped, you saw the edges of the set. Let's be clear, the celebrity space program is not scientific, it's psychological. Why use celebrities? Because they carry mass influence plus emotional programming. They sell the myth, and it works. The public trusts the mission because it trusts the face. The ritual is hidden in plain sight, and any glitch is labelled technical, not theatrical. They're not trying to explore, they're trying to anchor belief in a system that was built on a lie. Let's talk about Katy Perry, the outfit, the face, the daisy. Why a daisy? In MK Ultra symbology, it represents innocence masked with control. In pagan ritual, it links to spring sacrifice and rebirth after ritual death. In psychological ops, it's used to invoke softness before delivering manipulation. But it's also a coded marker because that same daisy shows up in old NASA footage, in lucid dream programs, in certain AI neural simulations. It's not random, it's a signal. Remember Katy Perry's Roar? That song was all about voice, power, awakening, and yet what was she doing up there? Smiling, floating, silent. No roaring, no fire, just ritual submission. They turned her anthem into obedience, took a symbol of feminine power and wrapped it in synthetic softness. That's ritual inversion. The same system that uses stars to light your path now uses them to guide you into digital darkness. It's not awe, it's entrainment. Inside that fake craft, they played with butterflies, held them up to the camera, smiled, laughed, acted like children. Why? Because the butterfly is a beta programming symbol used in MK Ultra and trauma-based mind control to represent splintering, dissociation, and compliance. In Monarch programming, it's the moment the subject transforms after conditioning. And here they are, floating in space, acting reborn, docile, euphoric. It wasn't science, it was symbolic compliance. A public display of reset minds. Then there's Katy Perry. Face tight, eyes hollow, movements robotic, not a person, a broadcast. Something off, something too still. She didn't look amazed. She looked installed, and smiling, beaming, presenting purity while oozing synthetic control. Because the daisy is more than MK Beta. It's the reset flower, used in Tavistock experiments, trauma reconditioning, and ritual de-identification. They weren't branding her, they were marking her. And Jeff's partner, a face pulled so tight it doesn't emote, a jawline that looks sculpted in a lab, skin that doesn't sweat, eyes that don't blink. Not just vanity, not just surgery. We're talking transhuman presentation, post-organic identity. Because she isn't just arm candy, she's part of the display, a trophy in the new elite religion, the false gods of space, the priests of simulation, wearing plastic flesh and coded flowers. You're not seeing reality, you're seeing generated perception. Everything they showed you, the ship, the float, the Earth view, it's all run through AI stabilization, frame replacement, and image composting. Yes, they might launch something, yes, there might be a craft, but the space view, that's rendered. The same tech that makes deepfakes sing can make astronauts float. The Earth curves perfectly because it's calculated to. The stars never shift because they're not there. You're watching space theatre filmed in a controlled vacuum of belief. Let's talk about the float. Bodies hovering, smiling, spinning, but the motion is stiff, the angles are controlled, the physics don't check out. Some clips show motion blur around edges. AI does great in motion tracking until you look too closely. This wasn't zero gravity, it was digital choreography. These events aren't about testing rockets, they're about testing belief. The goal is to anchor space as religion, with Jeff as the priest, the ship as the temple, and celebs as ritual witnesses to the divine. What they're prepping us for isn't travel, it's submission. Submission to space-based governance, AI spiritualism, cosmic salvation, or even alien saviors they've engineered. It's not about going up, it's about looking up. So you stop looking within, let's drop the veil. Space isn't just sold as science, it's sold as sacred. Look at the language. Mission, launch, ascension, re-entry. It mimics spiritual resurrection. The rocket, a modern-day pillar of fire. The countdown, a prayer. The celebrity passengers, chosen ones. They don't want you to question the sky, they want you to worship it. They show you the sky like it's open, like anyone could rise. But it's a theatre, a carefully lit illusion, where rockets become rituals and flowers cover locks. You see billionaires float, butterflies drift, and smiles rehearse to feel spontaneous. But this isn't about space, it's about place. Who gets to leave and who must stay? They don't launch for the stars, they launch to tell you you're earthbound. And every orbit tightens the net, not above the planet, but around the mind. The countdown was never to lift off, it was always to lock in. Not everything in the sky is about stars, and not every launch is what it seems. Some say it's for progress, others say it's a stage. They send up symbols, not answers, butterflies, and not blueprints, smiles instead of signs. Up there, the rules are different. Up there, access is curated. You're shown a future that looks weightless, but feels heavy. Because behind the glitter, behind the music, or behind the daisy, there's a door, and it only opens one way. They aim high, but it's not to escape. It's to enshrine these launches, not missions, ceremonies. A stage set skyward where each booster burns a new binding. They rise through the veil carrying symbols, daisies, butterflies, songs of false light, but Saturn still watches, the rings turn, and the actors orbit the same old script, the crown of stars above, but it's not yours to wear. They're not breaking gravity, they're enforcing it. And as they smile for the cameras, they're not looking back at Earth. They're looking down, because this isn't space travel, it's sky dominion. The cage just got vertical. They drift past the veil, not to break it, but to guard it, and we clap, as if ascent equals freedom, as if space is the prize. But the heavens were hijacked, and what you worship now is just a mirror of Olympus, empty, artificial, enforced. They say it's new, pioneering, groundbreaking, but this tech, it's not modern, it's resurrected. Craft that hums like cathedrals, energy that bends the air, doors that respond to vibration, not keys. The sky stage isn't innovation, it's a rebuild of something lost. An echo of Tartaria, of towers that sang, of grids once tuned to stars, now repurposed to surveil. Every launch reclaims an old frequency, but not for the people, for the keepers. And as they float above us, holding butterflies like offerings, they're not reaching forward, they're dialing back in. They want you to believe in heroes, in fire rising, in chosen ones touching the divine. But this isn't Prometheus, this is Icarus, scripted. The flame is contained, the wings are wired, and the sun is simulated. Celebrities rise like gods, but speak no prophecy, only marketing. They rose, they smiled, they floated, and the world watched like it meant something holy. But those launches weren't for discovery, they were for display. A reminder who gets the sky, who stays on the ground. But some of us, we're not clapping, we're remembering. We know space is not space, it's symbol, containment, control. And behind every butterfly, every daisy, every gleaming suit, there's a signal, but we don't rise with rockets, we don't float for show. We break orbit from the inside with memory, with frequency, with fire. And when enough of us tune in, the stage collapses, the cage dissolves, and the sky cracks open.